Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subby, welcome to another video. And if you are new here, hopefully you like what you see, you press that subscribe button and you join the Yay gang, the Yay family. Guess now I should do this because I'm a West Coast gal. Hey. But anyway, welcome to part 2 of From SA to LA. It is kind of a while since the first video. I didn't plan it to be this way. I wanted it to be like right after, but I've been snacking a bit on the YouTube front. Not entirely my fault, but I will take full accountability. I'm sorry, but like gila gogo, I am here. I am ready to get into this part 2. So basically the first video was like mainly like the journey, everything that happened when I just arrived, like in terms of me settling in and getting acclimated. But I guess really this video is the real, like, now that I live here like full time, how has life been? What are the things that I've seen that are like different from South Africa? What are the things that shocked me? What are the things that I was not so surprised by? Like just everything. I did have a poll on my Instagram like months ago. Those people probably think like, oh, you know, but I'm here. I'm gonna answer the questions. I wrote them down because it was ages ago at this point. So I did write them down in my little notebook, and I'll just be addressing first the questions, and then if there's anything that I want to fill in afterwards, then I'll do that. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. The first question is, how was the jet lag and how long did it take you to adjust? So it actually was pretty quick to adjust to the new time zone. I think within a week, like a couple of days, actually I was fine. But that's mainly because like when I just arrived, I had so many things to do, like getting my social security card and opening a bank account, doing my I-9 verification, etc., etc. So like I had to obviously adjust and like work according to the normal hours that like people are up and these places are open, so I can actually go do these things. So it didn't take me long, but what I will say was like tougher at the beginning was more so just the getting used to like everyone that I talk to is now asleep and I'm just here like, you know, like it's just like, okay, I have no one to talk to. Like my social media dead as fuck because most of the people I follow and stuff like that are in South Africa. So I guess that part like at first was like difficult to get a hang of, because it's like, okay, I have no one to talk to. I'm just here and like I'm fresh because it's during the day. Like this is my daytime. So I've had to kind of adjust to that. Since I haven't really like made like friends properly yet, I do have like a couple people that I guess I could talk to, but like it's still pretty much for the most part the same even now, and it's like September now and I moved here in Feb. But yeah, it's actually very hard to like make friends. I'm actually just gonna jump straight into that. I was gonna leave it for last, but I got things to get off my chest. Okay, so the first was, how are the people and is it easy to make relations? So I'm just gonna address that now because yeah, clearly Konindela that I need to get off my chest. But how are the people? So far I found the people to be nice. I know like sometimes like when we like see things on social media about like America, it kind of makes it seem like low-key a crazy place, you know, like just so many things are happening, it's insane. But like my experience so far, but maybe that's because I haven't been to like the wild west but like in the countryside where like, you know, people will be like, go back where you came from and shit like that. Like I haven't experienced those kind of weird things. Like so far everyone has been very nice that I've come across. I have noticed though that in LA, I guess the country in general, but I mean I haven't seen enough of America to conclude on that, but in LA, let me speak about what I know. In LA, like some people, I mean people are nice, but like they kind of keep to themselves more. I think back home we have more of like that whole Ubuntu thing, and like you greet people whenever you get to a place, you greet people. Here it's like, you know, people are minding their business, just here to make my money, go home, like I'm not trying to be your friend. Yeah, so it has made it also a bit more difficult to make friends, because like I said, I still don't have none to this day. But because that's mainly because like it's just so hard to, like, people are very cliquey. People already have like their circles and people that they're friends with or familiar with. So I find it more difficult then to, like, because now it's like you, this one person, you're gonna go up to a whole group of people and like, hey y'all. No, it's just so awkward. And like I'm already not like an extroverted out there, like friendly, let's make friends. And like that's not me. It's not me. I really tried, especially at the beginning when I just arrived. Like I was really forcing vibes, in the sense that like I would force myself to like go talk to people and things like that. And I just decided to kind of pull back on that a little bit, because I feel like I need to kind of let things happen in their own time a bit more. I mean, I think it's a balance between, like, obviously, like, the friends are not going to come to my apartment and find me, I need to make an effort. But like to force vibes and to like, force it to happen, it's just not gonna work, man. Like things, like if you're meant to be friends with someone, like that relationship normally, like for me personally, in the experiences that I've had, it forms organically and you don't have to force it. I will say though, let's get to the tea, that I have like tried to make friends like in a very active way, in the sense that like besides like work, and our building also has like functions and little things that they do where, like, then I can meet some people from the building and all of that. But I have tried to make friends, like two specific people that one lives in the building, and I messaged him and I was like, I just moved from a whole other country, like I'm by myself, like I'm trying to make friends, like you seem like you could be cool. I mean, I didn't say it like that, but like, but I was like, yeah, if you want to hang out, just have a glass of wine or something, because we live in the same building. And also, like, I don't necessarily need to be like in the streets all the time. I'm good with like hanging out at home. Yeah, I messaged and he was like, yes, of course, blah blah blah. But like, he's a hairstylist to like celebs, and I don't know if maybe he thinks like I'm trying to get in on that or something, because I mean, it is LA. I know that there are people who will probably try to like climb the social ladder via other people, but obviously that's not where I'm coming from. Like I don't care that he does, like I don't care, but like and then I'll see like he's like chilling by the pool or stuff like that, and like I'm like, okay, you could have just been like, hey, we're hanging out by the pool if you want to join. I mean, I live in the same building. It's just downstairs. Like, it's things like that. And this was months ago. And so I'm like, if you wanted to hang, you would have been hit me up. Like, if you wanted to hang, you would have been hit me up. So I've kind of taken the hint, like, oh, okay, I don't know if like the whole celeb thing is the reason. I don't know what the reason is, because I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. One thing about me, I don't force vibes and I don't force myself down people's throats. If I can feel like, if I've already made that clear that like I want to be friends or I want to hang out, I feel like I've made myself clear already. Do you get what I'm saying? The ball's now in your court, and if you're not playing it, then that's a sign in itself. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't feel like I need to ask what's up. I got it. I got the message. It's cool. Like I'm not like, yeah, I don't feel any type of way about it. It's just like, okay. And then there's also this other girl. She actually did my hair, and I remember like before I went, I was like, fuck, because like it was during busy season, my busy season, so we're working overtime, like literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You will be working until after 12 midnight. So like I had to just steal, because I was going on vacation the next week, so I was like, I have to steal some time. But I brought my laptop with me so that I could work. I mean, I'm not the one that's braiding, she's braiding, so it's fine. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fuck, like when I was going there, I was like, oh damn, like I didn't think about like it's gonna be like 8 hours or however long of like us just sitting there, and it might be awkward, because I know how I am. I'm a very socially awkward person around people that I'm not like used to or like friends with and familiar with like that. And I was thinking about that on the way there, like, oh my god, I'm so like, I'm dreading the awkward vibes. And then I got there and we started talking a little bit, and then we started talking some more, and then we started talking some more. Next thing you know, like 10 hours later, and we've been kikiing the whole time, and it was like great. Like I really enjoyed the conversation, the multiple conversations we had throughout those hours, like, and we were just like, I don't know, it was just like a good, I didn't have to force like the convo, because I find sometimes like with small talk and things like that, you have to force vibes and things like that. There was none of that. It was organic. We were just chatting, and it was like, it was good. I liked it. So then when I came back from vacation, I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot my friendship shot, because I thought she was cool. I'm going to invite her out for drinks. And I sent her a message, I think 4 days ago now, and she still hasn't responded. So sorry, I just scrolled into the microphone. I'm so sorry. Okay, I think we're gonna move on to the next question, because basically, in terms of me making friends, it is dire. Like, it's dire. The only thing that there is like niggas who try to smash and shit like that, and I'm not interested in that. Like, I need friends. I want people to hang out with that, like, you know. Anyways, let's move on. Something that shocked me about LA. Oh, now I have to think about like when I just arrived. The number of homeless people that there are. There's like so many. There's a lot of homeless people. Like, that's kind of like the side of LA that they don't show you. There's a lot of homeless people. There's a lot of dogs. But like, let me explain. Dog culture is like a thing here. I'm actually the odd one out in my building because I don't have a pet. Pretty much everyone has a dog. And when I was going like apartment viewing and stuff before I like found this place and moved in here, all the places that I went to, they have a dog park like on the roof or somewhere where people can walk their dogs. At our reception, literally, they have doggy treats on the reception. Instead of like treats for people, they have treats for dogs. Like, so like, yeah, I was just shocked that like, it's like a thing. It's like you have your pet, you just have a dog. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. If you don't live here, you won't get it. But like, it's dog culture. And also another thing, like, if I were to kind of like liken or compare LA to any city in South Africa, it would definitely be Cape Town. 100,000%, like Cape Town. Cape Town and LA like give me the same vibes. And I've had people who confirm this as well. Like, they just have the same kind of vibe. And also like with the mountain, the beach, there's Napa for the wine tasting, the same way that there's Steadies right outside of Cape Town if you want to go wine taste. Like, there's a lot of similarities in the city, and also just the overall like feel of it, the vibe of it, the people, like, you know, it's that. And another thing that shocked me when I just arrived, and I think I touched on this in the previous video, I was like, how is the financial system here so backwards? Like, what is happening? I felt like I stepped into like 1950 or something. I was like, aye, because you don't expect that like South African banks are better than American banks in the way that they function, but they are. Like, if you want to send money from yourself to another person, you need Zelle or Venmo or PayPal. You can't just like go on your app and pay. Like, come on. Like, my first paycheck was an actual physical check. And then I had to go to the office to fetch the check. Then I went to, I think I touched on this also in the previous video. Then I had to go to Bank of America to deposit the check. And there's a fee when you deposit the check. And then they told me that because my account was new at the time, that they're going to put a hold on my check. And then the money only reflected 7 working days later. Can you imagine? It's like month end, you broke. You're just like, my salary, you're just waiting. And then the day comes and they're like, no, wait another week. I was so disgusted. But yeah, I was just like, why can't you just send? And why does it take 3 days if you do? Like, why? Like, in South Africa, it doesn't matter what bank you're sending from and to. Your money is never going to take more than a day to reflect. Like, if under any circumstances, you know, and that's not even a faster payment. A faster payment reflects now. It's like, I just don't understand. But yeah, anyway, yeah, because there's a lot of like innovations and things that America has done that you would think that everything of theirs is kind of like elevated, but like the basic functions, I was shocked that like they're so antiquated. I was like, yo, why do you need PayPal again and Cash App? Why you can't just send from your bank account? Why? Yeah. I'm trying to think what else shocked me about LA. Not I can't think of anything that shocked me per se. Anyway, next question. What made me decide on this, i.e., the US? That's actually a good question because I had like offers from other countries as well. The UK, obviously, you know, the UK snatches all the all the SA chartered accountants up. So, you know, the UK, definitely Australia. But I mean, if you think about it, just think about it, right? They say you can go to Australia, or you can go to London, or you can go to Los Angeles. Oh, you're not gonna go to Los Angeles? This is fucking Hollywood, bro. It's fucking Hollywood, bruv. So yeah, pretty much. That's the main reason. I wanted to be within, and the city doesn't disappoint. Like so far in the 7-ish almost months now that I've been here, I really like LA. Like it's a place that I could see myself staying in long term. Like I said, the people are nice. Like I haven't encountered any weird or rude or, you know, things like that. The people are nice. The weather's good. It's a well-rounded city, you know. One thing that I found, like when I was living in Joburg, because I lived in Cape Town, like varsity, and then I moved to Joburg for work. And one thing that I found is that like Joburg, when it's hot, you can't go to the beach. It's just like you're hot. You're just hot. Like, you know, you just hot. What you gonna do? I'm gonna say like it's the only thing that you could, like, it's just groove, and like everything pretty much that you have to do as an activity is linked to drinking some way somehow. And then when I moved here, it's kind of like a more well-rounded place, a more wholesome place, in the sense that there's so many things to do, you know, and you don't have to just go out drinking or something. You can go to the beach if you want to go to the beach. And because I grew up like by the coast, I'm a beach girl, you know, so I'm glad to be like at a city that's along the coast. I can go to the beach when I want to go to the beach. And then also like because it's Los Angeles, it's Hollywood, there's like museums and you can go see the Hollywood sign, and there's theater shows, and there's so much to do at LA. There's so much to do. It's actually insane. So far so good. I've been having like the best time. And basically up on your corner is that the choice was a good choice. I made the right choice. Next question. Do you miss home? And that cute little child you love to post. That would be my nephew, I'm assuming. Love of my life. If you don't know, now you know, nigga. But yeah, I miss home. And yes, I miss my babies. I don't want to talk about it too much. Like, I actually went through a phase. I'm better now. I went through a phase around like June, July, where I was just like, I missed home so much that like I just couldn't bear it. I think I've kind of gone through that now and I'm feeling better. But like, yeah, it actually got so bad at some point because I was just spending so much time alone. Like I said, I don't really have people to hang out with. And a lot of the time, because like I don't want to rot in the house, and so I'll go do stuff, I'll just go by myself. Like I went to the Warner Brothers studio tour by myself. I went to watch Arsenal versus Barcelona. I went by myself. Like I just be doing things by myself. But at some point, it's like, oh, I miss my family. I miss my mom. I miss my friends. I miss South African food. Look me in the eyes when I say this. I miss South African food, yeah. Oh, I miss South African food. Yeah, and just South African people, man. Like, we're different. Like, we're different. If you're not South African, you're not gonna understand what I mean. But like, we're just different. I miss South African people. So yes, I definitely do miss home. And I was thinking like maybe next year, instead of only going home once a year, I try to do twice a year. But we shall see, because the flights are expensive. The flights are expensive, so we'll see about that. Oh, the next one is, how's the company culture? And then I'll just lump it in with the next one. Is this career path worth the pain I'm suffering? Okay, it depends if it's worth the pain or not. It depends. I think with accounting / audit, like this specific path, because it's so gruesome and like it's a very long journey and a personal journey, like, you know, if this is aligned to like your ultimate goals in life and what you want to do. Because if you're gonna stay in audit, you're gonna have to accept the facts. Facts. You will be working overtime and stuff like that throughout your career. Like, just now, for the past 2+ months, we were working overtime, and the managers were there, the partners were there. These people have wives and husbands and children and stuff. You need to basically just know that that's gonna happen and that's gonna be your life. And if you're fine with that, cool, right? That's the if it's worth it. And financially also, yeah, I guess it is rewarding. So yeah, I mean, financially it can be rewarding. Also depends on the decisions you make for your career. But what was the first question? So, oh, how is the company culture? The company culture is really like I was actually thinking about this like when I had just arrived, about how different the SA one is from the US one. Like, the company culture, I have zero complaints. Like, I if I were to complain about something, ingaba, I'm the problem, because it's like, girl, what do you want? Like, honestly, the people that I work with are nice. Like, I haven't come across anyone who is like rude or unprofessional or like condescending or like, you know, those small microaggressions and things that make it hard to work with people. I haven't experienced that yet. Yet. It's been almost a year now that I've it's just over 6 months. Let me not even exaggerate like that. It's almost 7 months, but like in that 7 months, I haven't encountered like any weird shenanigans. And the company culture is good. I feel like they appreciate this. Like, I feel more appreciated, you know, here, which is as an employee, obviously that makes you feel like you want to contribute more because you feel like your work is being recognized. So it's kind of like, you know, that cycle where you're like, oh, y'all appreciate me, y'all out here, okay, let me go ahead and give you a little more, you know. So yeah, I really like it. And they have this this system where during like the performance cycle, on top of like maybe any increases or promotions or bonuses, there's also like a point system that we have, where like your partner or your manager that worked above you can give you points, and those points you can use them at like an online store that we have, and you can buy AirPods or MacBook or whatever. Like, it'll tell you how many points you need for whatever thing. So like, it's things like that where it's just like, you know, just those extra little perks. There's many like benefits and perks and stuff like that. But yeah, the company culture, I have zero complaints. Like, happy. And then die volgende, I almost said antwoord. Really? I'm losing my Afrikaans. What's the question in Afrikaans? You know what? The next question, let me just mandiyege. How are you finding the culture change? I guess that would be like in the social aspect. Okay, socially, culture change. I find it interesting. I don't have anything bad to say. Let's just start there. I actually like the fact that like here Like just yesterday, actually, we had a training for international hires. So there were people there from Pakistan, the Philippines, from Namibia, South Africa, which is literally just me, and other places, right? And so we talking, we having these conversations. A lot of it obviously was with regards to work, but there were also other conversations about like where people kind of shared more personal things, basically. And it's just nice to like learn about like people's different cultures. And yeah, that I think that part for me is the most interesting part. Like I feel like I'm becoming a more worldly person, and I love that for me, you know. Like I'll say, like in my life, like, you know, you're in high school and you think you know everything, and then you go to varsity and your world opens up, like, and you're like, whoa. I don't know if it's just me, but that's like how it was. Like the world just opened up to a whole other extent when you're in university, because you do meet people of different walks of life there as well. Even like coming from East London, which is where I'm from, where everyone around me is Xhosa. Everyone around me is like pretty much the same culture. And then you go to a Cape Town where there's, you know, all different kinds of cultures, but most of them are South African. Then you go to an LA where now it's like the world, you know. There was a girl from Turkey there. Like it's just, you know, those things. And you learn about how Filipinos like to sing. I didn't know that. I didn't know that karaoke is like a staple in the Filipina culture. Like I didn't know that. These are like things that are interesting to me. So I like that part of it. What I don't like though is having to speak English all the time. I will say that like the only time I get to speak is Xhosa or anything that's not English is when I call home. Yeah, so they're speaking English all the time, and I've noticed like there's certain things that I'll say and I'm like, what am I, like the accent, like, and I'll notice that like my accent is changing a little bit, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. But I mean, I live here now, and most of the people I speak to are American, and like these are the people that I interact with the most. It's not like I'm constantly on the phone with people back home, like, so I don't get as much of that as before. So yeah. And then what else about the culture change can I mention? Again, going back to the food, like I think I just miss South African food. Yeah, I miss South African food. And I tried to look around. One thing that I noticed is that like for West Africans, they're so lucky because they have a space here. I feel like South Africans, there's not like a lot of us that have moved over the side, etc. So like it's not really the same kind of presence. The same way, like I have a friend who is in the UK, and I remember she's in the UK, and I don't know who was posting. I think I posted about like being alone and all of that, and then she was like, "Oh, me too." I was like, "Girl, at least you have mad other people there," because like I said, the UK recruits a lot of people from South Africa. So when you go there, very rarely will you be alone. Like there's plenty of other South Africans for you to hang out with. But here, I literally actually at the international hire training yesterday that I was at, afterwards I went to speak to the facilitator. I was like, "Girl, we need to get more South African hires in this here Los Angeles." Like I had to ask her, like, can we please have at least someone else that's like, I don't want to be the representative of SA. I don't want that. Can there be more of us? And West Africans are so like lucky because they have like spaces. They have like Ghanaian restaurants or Nigerian restaurants where you can go and get that taste of home and that feel of home. And there'll be like Afrobeat parties and things like that. They have Amapiano parties, but they play Nigerian Amapiano, whatever the hell that is, because that does not exist. There's no such thing as Nigerian Amapiano. Amapiano by its very nature is South African. I just wanted to clear that up. But anyway, they'll play like the Nigerian Amapiano, which is cool, but like I know better. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like I know South African Amapiano, which in my opinion, maybe because I'm South African, is better. Like the Kabzas, the Calvin Momos, like that's the vibe. And whereas like here, it'll mostly be the songs that go viral, which are not always the best Amapiano songs. Like if you know, you know. So yeah, I really find that, like, I mean, at least it's coming in a bit more about Tep and Coco, no Uncle Waffles. Ikhona bayizamayo to ikhona yona, but not yet. You know, as South Africans, we don't really have like our space like that. Because I've tried to look like online if there's any South African restaurants, and there's one that I found that's like, it's quite far, but it's the closest one, and it's not even South African food. It's like Afrikaner food. Like that's. Like Afrikaners do not represent the South African populace. Like white people are literally less than 10% of the population in South Africa. So, you know, so they have that representation, but I wouldn't really categorize it as being South African food, because what about the literal 80 something percent? We're just not represented at all in that restaurant. So yeah, I don't really count it, because you can't get ulusu, amangqina, umvubo. I would actually like that, even if it's at a restaurant. Umvubo, that's not what I meant to say though. I meant to say umngqusho. Like, you know, our food that we eat, man. To wash down. I so wish. Yes, but now you know though, when I go home, what I'm going to be doing, I need to make sure that when I leave here, like I'm snatched as fuck, to give myself like some room to grow, if you know what I mean, because all I'm going to be doing when I'm home is eating. Like I need it. Okay. Anyway, I get the next question is, how have we dealt with the move in our relationship? Ew. Where? We're dealing with it. We're dealing with it. We're just taking it day by day. We have zero plan. Like we don't have any plan, because we don't. How do you deal with a long distance relationship? One day at a time, honestly. Like it's just like, I think the extra effort though that is needed to make sure you're constantly communicating, to make sure that you keep the romantic aspect alive, and like, yeah, so we've had like dates where we'll watch something together, and like, because of the time zone difference as well, it'll be like my lunchtime and his dinner time, but like we're eating together, like we're trying some things, child. But so far, like, we're still dating. There's that, but like we're really just taking it one day at a time. Yeah, I really wish I had like tips or like some magic formula that we had, but like that we have, sorry, but like we don't. We're really just like, let's see. Let's see, because we're just, yeah. And because also like he's making his own career moves at the same time, like we also haven't, because I would have liked for him to come visit me in LA and all of that, but like that hasn't happened yet, maybe next year. But it hasn't happened yet because he's also like busy with his own career moves. And like, honestly, we're just at we're at a place where we're both young. This is the time to be doing these things. Like, I don't have children. I don't have like anything that's really tying me down to any specific place or making it difficult for me to be mobile and to do whatever I want. So now would be the time to do whatever the fuck I want, you know. And same for him. We're still young. We don't have like major commitments like bonds and stuff like that, where it would make it more difficult to move from place to place. So this is the time where we're making those career moves. We're trying out different countries, seeing what we like, what we don't like, trying out different careers too. Yeah, and then just trying to maintain the relationship at the same time. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And then I think this should be the final one. I think this is the final question, because the other one is, how's the socializing aspect going? And I've already kind of addressed that like In terms of socializing, I think that part is easy. It's the taking it to a level where we're friends and we can hit each other up to like go out and things like that. I think that's the gap that I'm still trying to close at the moment. But like the socializing when you're out and like, you know, talking to people and stuff like that, like it's not that difficult to do. But yeah, the socializing, it's really not that difficult to do, Shem. Like, talking to people, having conversations, but getting it to the point where like we've exchanged numbers and we're friends and I can hit you up and be like, hey, yo, you want to go drink? Because that's what I'm trying to do most of the time. Yeah, that's the part that's a bit more. We shall see, guys. Like, honest, I have friendship shots that didn't land, and at this point I'm still regaining my strength because this just happened the other day. So I'm regaining my strength to try again because I hate rejection. I'm one of those people that's like, I'm not used to rejection. So when I get it, I'm just like, oh, how dare you? So yeah, I'm still in recovery, but I won't stop though. And like I said, I really like LA. If it's going to become a long-term situation, I'm going to have to do what I gotta do because yeah, something's gotta give. Literally, besides this one aspect, it would be like perfect place to be. Perfect place to be. I just need that one thing, which is a major thing. But we'll see, angazo. And then the last question is, what does the process of getting a job look like, and how are you viewed there? Oh my god. Viewed, oh my god. Okay, I didn't see that part of the question at first. So, how am I viewed? Yosana, I don't know. I don't know how they be viewing me, but like so far, like I've said, I haven't really experienced like any part of the social aspect where I'd be like, okay, shit's getting weird, or I feel uncomfortable in any way, or you know what I mean. I haven't had that because I feel like being from South Africa, I think I do have like sort of like a radar where I'm aware of those things and I'm like, you know, but I haven't noticed anything off in terms of being viewed. I'm assuming that this is where this is coming from because we all know how, you know, like this America is portrayed online sometimes. So I'm just gonna go straight to, you know, I know what the fuck you're talking about. And then yeah, but I do feel like being from South Africa, right, and because one, there's a lot of white people here. Being from South Africa, most of the population is black, so you know. But here, most people are Caucasian. So that's the one thing, is that there's so many white people here. There's so many. So most of the time, like, I'll be in spaces where I'm the only black person. And sometimes even the only female too. You know, that happened to me in my first few like audit engagements where I was working only with like white males. You kind of have to get out of your head about things like that and not be like, oh, feeling any type of way. Unless there's a reason for you to feel some type of way, I feel like you shouldn't just outright think that way. So I try not to do that. Actually, I don't do that. But it does also make you feel though, like, because obviously I'm not going to not notice that I'm the only black person here, right? I noticed that. And there's that element of like, you feel a responsibility, irrespective of whether you want to or not. You do feel like a responsibility to kind of be a representative, you know, where it's like, okay, I'm the only black person here. And also I'm from Africa. There's also another thing where there's not many like South Africans, like I said, around here. And also just being from Africa in general, we tend to get lumped together as like Africa, you know, instead of like, oh, this South African individual is kind of like Africa. They kind of lump us together like that. So I'm aware of that as well. And so like I'm cautious of how I behave and like aware of how I behave and present myself, and especially at work. Just besides on a personal level, I'm never gonna submit any work that's below a certain standard. Like on a personal level, I would never do that. Like you know. But in addition to that, I'm also aware that like whether I like it or not, whether I like it or not, there is going to be that part of people, whether you like it or not, there's always that part. Like, let's not even lie to ourselves. So yeah, there's that. And then how did I get the job? So I worked at a firm in South Africa, which so happens to be kind of like the South African branch of this one, which is the US branch. So last year was my final year of training, and they asked us, I think I might have mentioned this in the previous video, but they asked us like, who would be interested in working in the US, send your names through. I replied to the email. Then they were like, all right, send your CV. I sent my CV, and then I had an interview, then I had another interview, and then I got the offer. I think I had 2 interviews. I think it was 2 or 3 interviews. At the end, they were like, cool, like, here's your offer. They asked me in, I think, the first interview, which places would you like? I said LA, Miami, Atlanta, or something like that. And I got Los Angeles, which was my first choice. And for some reason, because he didn't specify that I must put these in order of like, which one do you want first, which one is your second preference. He didn't say that. He just said name 3, right? But I felt like, let me put LA first. And so glad I did, because I ended up getting the exact choice that I wanted. So if I put some other place first, I would be there instead of here. And like, I honestly feel like there's something about being here for me that just feels right, that just feels like it was fate. And that also goes back to like, why did you choose the US, blah, blah, blah. When I had the other offers come in for the other places like the UK and stuff, I was very hesitant. I was like thinking, I was back and forth. I was, and then when the LA offer came in, I wanted it immediately. It just felt right. And so now being here, it just feels right. But yeah, that's how I got the job. Via the SA branch. But like, I can only, like, you can hit me up to ask like on the DM or something, if you want some help or some tips or whatever. I can do that. But like, I've gotten DMs like on TikTok, because I've had like some TikToks that, and then there would be people DMing me, and they're like, I'm a teacher, and like, I'm an administrator, and I'm like, I'm an auditor. Like, I don't, please don't ask me if you're not in audit. I don't know. If you are not in audit, I don't know how to do it. But what I will say is that I think actually not even more likely than not, I think it's a definite requirement that before you can even come over, you have to have a job. So you can't be like, oh, I'm going to come over and look for a job. You must already have one in order to get your work visa. Because if you come and you look for a job, you'll have to go back and get a work visa. So that's kind of like a lot of money. So yeah. Yes, anyway, I hope the video was informative. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. 1 or 2 things. If you have like anything to ask, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll respond. And yeah, the sun's like down now, so I've really got to go. I've lost lighting. So thank you for watching the video, and I shall see you next time, which won't take as long as this one did, I promise. Bye.